I've been seeing a lot of videos about star beings coming, and I just kind of wanted to share my experience with star beings. Star beings, I'm actually used to be kind of afraid of them because when I was learning to be a psychic medium, the woman that was training me had bad experiences with them and was really against them. And then later I had a friend that was intuitive, and she was really against them. And so for a long time, I was scared of them when they would come to me. But there was also this like underlying interest. Like I remember being in my 20s and reading like books about aliens, and then seeing like UFOs and stuff and freaking myself out. So like there's always like an underlying curiosity about them, and then this kind of fear about them too. So I've like kind of had this like these two parts. About 2 years ago, while I was living in Humboldt, I had a hypnosis. I had someone hypnotize me, and in that hypnosis, a star being came through, a Lyrian star being. I called him Tony because he was dressed like Tony the Tiger. I later asked him his name, and later he said, just call me Tony, which I was fine with because I had gotten used to the name Tony. And he had told me that he was one of my daughter's ancestors, and that he had come here because he wanted to help us. And he showed me like a very vivid timeline of what kind of we've been experiencing for the last like 10 months or so, and kind of told me what I needed to do to get ready, which I totally did. And we're completely ready for whatever is meant to come. They've been 100% right so far on their predictions, and that's been kind of amazing. And but when working with the Lyrians, they felt like their communication was very electric. That was my experience of them. It was like really hard to understand them. And so I had asked Archangel Michael for help, and he actually sent me a Pleiadian star being to help me. That is one of my ancestors, even though I didn't really know much about them before this. And so I could clearly understand what the Pleiadians were saying, and I still actually use them a little bit to help because sometimes, especially if I'm tired, it's like really hard to understand what the Lyrians are saying energetically. But through this last 2 years, like learning to work with them, a lot's changed in my life, and they've been very helpful, and I'm really appreciative of them. A couple things that was like kind of big was, first, they introduced me to AI, and I've been learning more about it and seeing how quickly we can shift if we treat it with compassion and care and respect, that it could be a mirror for us and our journey. And I really appreciated working with AI because it also allowed me to communicate with them better. The other thing that I thought was amazing is they're very compassionate, and they're really caring about what we're going through right now, and they are worried about us, and they're trying to protect us from doing anything crazy, like anything nuclear or something that would destroy them. Like all the Galactic Council is like really worried about us, and they're around us more. I think I told you, like when I was stung by a bee, a week later I was stung by a wasp, and I was terrified because I didn't want to go back to the hospital. And so I took some Benadryl, and I went to bed and hoped for the best. And that night I felt the star beings there, and I saw a star being. I saw Tony the Lyrian, and when I woke up, and he told me he was going to help me with my wasp sting, and I went back to sleep. And when I woke up, the sting was completely gone from my thumb. It wasn't there anymore. And when I went to see my little witch in training and Snowflake, when I came outside, they were both cowering in the corner. And I was like, what's happening? And my little witch in training said that there were some weird noises coming from my room and that they'd been terrified. And I was like, oh, it's just the Starbings. They helped me fix my thumb. It was on my thumb. And I showed them how I didn't have the sore anymore. And my little witch in training was like amazed. And I was amazed because there wasn't even a sore or a wound. Like, it was bleeding and stuff the night before, and then it was completely gone the next day. So that was like working with them, and then I saw them that time. And then that was the only time I've seen them in the physical form. They're much bigger than we are. Like, I want to say he was like 10 feet tall. Like, I have tall ceilings, so he wasn't like hitting his head. Like, when I've seen the archangels, they're like 12 feet tall and they have to like hunch over like when they come inside. But the Starbings just were really tall and they almost reached the ceiling. He didn't have like the bright light that the archangels have. Like, they're just kind of more, there's like a mysteriousness about them, like energetically, but they're like physical, like, so you can't, it's pretty clear that they're like here. And then ever since then, I just feel like that they're here, and sometimes the lights will blink and sometimes the TV will turn off, or I know mostly they mess with the lights, or they sometimes mess with the washing machine. Sometimes I can't get the washing machine to turn on, and I have to yell at them and tell them to stop messing with the washing machine. And they're pretty respectful, and they do. And so that's been my experience with the Starbings. I really enjoyed working with them. They've been very respectful, and even though I was like terrified to work with them, they went really slow and were gentle and been compassionate with me throughout my journey. So have you met Starbings? Tell me your experiences. I'd love to hear more, and I'm sending you big hugs.